All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to your mentor session with Todd Ferguson. Today is Tuesday, November 8th. And before we get started, I just want to encourage you guys, if you have not voted yet, please take your responsibility seriously and go out and vote and let America know where you stand. If you've ever talked to somebody like Joel that came from a country that did not have voting privileges like we do, I think we often take it for granted. So just do your part, go out, and if you feel led to vote, do that today. So we'll get 4 questions here. We're going to roll in through these and hopefully help you guys out. So first question comes from Leanna. The question they ask is, what are strategies I can use to lower my shipping cost and to streamline processes for shipping my products to customers? Business description and background of question. I own a caviar and specialty food business. We just built a Shopify store and want to increase online sales. What are things you have discovered in your business to help control cost and production time when increasing online sales? Thanks. So the biggest thing with lowering with shipping is figuring out what type of packaging and what service you're going to use the most when you're shipping your products. Whether it's UPS, FedEx, the Postal Service, you could use DHL too. But most of those companies, especially UPS and FedEx, they have dedicated reps that are in your area. So you can just call a customer service line and tell them, hey, I'm a business owner. Can you hook me up with my rep? And they will do that. And a lot of times the rep will come out, will help you figure out what is the best way for you to ship your product using their service. So, the post office has things like priority mail. They have flat rate. They have regional rate boxes. UPS has something very similar to where if it fits inside of a certain box, it ships for a flat rate, and so does FedEx. And so those reps will come out, walk you through the process. You can show them your product. They can give you tips and tricks on how to mail those using their service. And then they can also give you discounts based on the volume of product that you're shipping out. Now, if you're using something like ShipStation or Pirate Ship or some other type of third-party software that you're shipping your items through as far as buying postage or buying shipping, oftentimes those places already have what's called commercial plus pricing, which is almost the best that you can get. But I have seen, because my business partner has negotiated this, but we get cheaper rates than even some of those places get because of the volume that we ship. So just reach out to your FedEx and your UPS customer service, the number, and just ask them to connect you and your rep together. Also, stuff too is just make sure that when you're buying packaging material, make sure you buy it in bulk. Of course, it's usually get it cheaper, and really figure out if you're not using like UPS or FedEx supplied boxes, then figure out what box fits perfectly with your dunnage or with your bubble wrap or whatever else you're putting in there, your dry ice. But get it to where it's very uniform. And so I don't know, it depends on how many types of products you're shipping. Try to limit your box sizes to maybe 3 or 4 different box sizes. So if you've ever got a box from Amazon and it's a huge box and it's got, maybe a pair of socks in it, and you're like, why in the heck did they do this? Well, they have it built in their processes to only figure out, to only use certain size boxes. And so it's better for them to go ahead and ship it if they got a box too big in that box and to go find another one. So it's just all about efficiency. But I would encourage you to probably figure out what 3 or 4 box sizes work well for you. Cubed box sizes are usually the best that we found for our stuff. You could get like a 3 cubed and then maybe a 5 and then maybe a 7. But then just create standard operating processes or SOPs that say, when you get a single order of this item, this is the box you should use, and it's labeled A and it's right here, so you grab that. And so if you create SOPs like that for when your people are shipping, that will help cut down on time and will make your people more efficient. So those are the 2 things. Contact your local, or get in contact with your UPS, FedEx rep, and then also just really minimize the amount of choices your shipping person has to make when they're shipping that out. So hopefully that helps. All right, next question comes from Kristen Lander. Kristen asks, what is the fastest and easiest thing I could do to grow my business from the stage I am today? So business description and background and question says, I operate an online nutrition coaching business for strength athletes. I'm currently doing $120,000 in annual sales. I have 4 coaches and 1 admin assistant on my team. My current way of driving new business revenues through positioning myself as an authority in my niche via podcast and social media. In 2023, I would like to grow my business by at least 50%. To accomplish that, what are some immediate things you would recommend I do in order to reach that goal? So first of all, it's great that you're already looking at 2023 and you're trying to figure out what you can do right now. For me, I'm not in this area, but what I would do if I know that, just based on what you have said, that you are really trying to position yourself as the authority figure. So for you, if that's how you're driving people to your website or to your brand, is I would just make sure that I get in front of as many people as I can. I would get on as many podcasts. I would do as many videos on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media platform you're using, and really start creating that authority figure. Start getting your face out in front of people. Start letting people know when they hear that voice on a podcast that they know, oh, that's Kristen. And then have a way to convert those customers, whether it's using somebody like Eric with funnels, or having an in-house salesperson if they call in. However you do that, but make sure you have those people set up. But I would really just get out there and get in front of as many faces, voices, people that you possibly can. And I think now is the great time to start doing that. So it's November 8th, and you know better than I do, probably than anybody, since you're in that space as far as nutrition, and I know you're doing mostly strength athletes, but a lot of people, when the new year rolls around, they're looking to get in shape, to run, to start going to the gym, whatever it is. And so if you're starting now to get in front of people when people are ready on January 1st or whenever, then you're already that authority figure, and you're already top of mind, as top of mind advertising. And so that's what I would do, is just get yourself in front of as many people as you possibly can. I wouldn't burn yourself out, but you know what you can do and what needs to be done as far as with the podcast and all this. But just videos, content, pump that crap out right now. You've got 2 months until the first of the year, and then just make sure that you have, when those leads start coming in, you have a system and a process, and you know how you can convert those. You've been in business long enough that you should know that if you get in 100 qualified leads, you're going to convert X amount of those. Well, then how many coaches do you need? If you get 25 new customers out of the 100, can your coaching team handle that? So have a system. Have your organizational chart already filled out that says, hey, when I increase, so if you want to increase by 50%, that's an extra $60,000. So you're going to do almost $200,000 next year, so $180,000 to $2,000. Can your current organizational chart handle that volume? If you are doing what you need to do, and your team members are, can they handle that? So forecast that out, look at that, and then put some pieces in place so you know what to do when you get there, and you're not being reactionary. You've already thought about this and planned it out. So hopefully that helps, Kristen. All right, next question comes from Josh. Josh asks, same question, what is the fastest, easiest thing I could do to grow my business from the stage I'm in today? So business description and background. A question for Josh is, Intensify started in August and is currently projected to do a little bit more than $10,000 in sales. We currently have only John and myself on our team, and we both have full-time jobs, so we only have time right now on nights and weekends for our business. My current way of driving new business revenue is finding good product deals and ensuring the product has less than 100,000 rank on Amazon. In 2023, we'd like to grow the business to greater than $1 million. To accomplish this, what are some immediate things you would recommend I do in order to reach that goal? I'd specifically love to know your thoughts of how I should transition from quitting my full-time job and going all in on this business to reach the goal. How do I know when the time is right? There's a lot there to unpack. First of all, to go from less than $10,000 in sales to over $1 million in a year, it's a pretty big undertaking, and you're talking about on Amazon, and that's where one of our niches is Amazon. So the first thing is, just like we talked about with Kristen, is you need to, for you, and I can speak a little bit more to this than I could with Kristen, but with $1 million in sales, you need to know how much you need to sell every month, which if you haven't figured it out, it's the same thing. If you're going to make $1 million, it's $83,333.33 a month is what you need to sell. Then you need to break that down by day or by week, and then by day. And so that's what you know you need to sell to get there. And so that sounds great, But then you need to know, as far as you, since you're in a product-based business, is how much product do I need to source? Do I need to buy? So how much money do I need to spend on new product every single day, and have a goal of that. And so that would be the first thing, is to break that down. And for us, just so you know, we usually use a multiple of 2.2 to 2.5. So if we buy, let's just say if we buy $100 worth of stuff today, we know that we're going to roughly get $220 to $250 worth of sales out of that. And so it just depends on how well you source your product, where you're sourcing it from. If you're sourcing it from places that other people can get or get the product, or if you have connections that it's a little bit harder, that's where that 2.2 to 2.5, that's where it varies. So when you figure out, hey, this is how much I need to sell in order to make $1 million, or to sell $1 million, then you just kind of reverse engineer that and figure out, hey, this is what I need to purchase every day. And so for us, the biggest bottleneck for you is going to be shipping your product out. So you're going to need to spend anywhere from, what would that be, $35,000 to $45,000 a month on product. And so if you figure out what your average sale is going to be, if it's roughly around $30, that's a lot of items you need to ship out. So you need to either outsource that to somebody, like we do. We have a prep center. There's other people that do as well. So you're going to have to find somebody that can source or that can ship. And then you also you're going to need to find somebody that can actually purchase that product. And so those would be the two positions that I would look to hire out first, is either outsource it completely to a prep company that would prep your products. And so you just send everything to them and they prep it for you. There's a cost for that. You got to realize that. And then also I would find somebody to actually purchase your products for you. Purchase the items that you need to resell. But then just so work yourself back, work that number backwards. So know how much you need to sell per month, per week, per day. Use that 2.2 to 2.5 multiplier. That's how much you need to buy per day in order to hit that number. And that would get you close to that $1 million in sales. Now that doesn't account for stuff that doesn't sell, doesn't account for stuff that is returned or damaged. So there's other factors, but that would be the biggest thing. And as far as you going full time and knowing when it's right, when you're growing a business, and Jonathan can speak to you about this too, but when you're growing a business, anytime you have to take capital out of your business to pay yourself, it stunts the growth. And so maybe once you hit that $1 million in sales, you realize I can actually pay myself however much it is a month. And so, but if you can keep rolling that cash and rolling that money back into your business, you're going to grow so much faster than if you need to take out $4,000 a month or $5,000 a month in for income. So let's just say if you take out $5,000 a month and you're using that 2.2 multiplier, so you're basically taking away, what is that, 11, 12, $22,000-ish worth of sales. So a month, or no, that's not right. $12,000-ish a month in sales. So then you got to source more, got to have more people to be able to find that product. So you've just stifled your growth and you've added more work for your people. So just kind of use that as a guide. And you're more than welcome to reach out to me if you have questions on those numbers that I threw out to you or anything with that, Josh. So, all right, last question comes from Randy. Randy asks, do you recommend postcard mailings as part of your ad campaigns? It's a business description, background question. I own a bowling center and do email, Facebook, and in-house advertising. Not every household uses social media, and I would like to promote specials, coupons, the website, and build my email list. Would you recommend using every door direct and target certain routes and neighborhoods? So I would first of all ask you is how does your ideal customer or your avatar, where are they? Are they on social media mostly? Are they reading the newspaper? Are they looking at ads on a table where they go eat breakfast in the morning? You gotta define your avatar first if you haven't done that, and then you build your ad campaigns around that. And then I would ask yourself is, when you get a postcard in the mail, what do you do with it? When you get your stack of mail each day and you're walking back to your house, your apartment or whatever, and you're going through it, what do you do? And if you get an advertisement for something that maybe even catches your attention, what happens then? Do you keep it? Do you put it on your fridge? Does it go in your stack of junk mail and you eventually throw it away? Do you throw it away immediately? So that I would poll people and ask them, what do you do? I mean, your friends, what do you do when you get a postcard in the mail that advertises for something that you're interested in? And so I would do it that way. I personally would not, but that's just the business I'm in. I would really figure out how, there are amazing things you can do now with scraping Google, and I'm probably not even saying this right, but you can get data from certain places. You can do lookalike audiences based on your current email list, all this stuff. And so that would be where you would want to hire somebody like Eric, and he can help you figure all that out. I know Jesse does some of that stuff too. But if you can make an audience that is ideal for what you're looking for, create a lookalike audience, and then blast that, you're usually going to see a better return on that type of product or advertising than with postcards. Now you can also just poll the people that come into your establishment. So if you have you said you have a bowling center, offer them free shoe rental on their next time if they fill out a quick 5-question survey. How did you hear about us? What ways have you seen our advertising? Whatever it is, and figure out that way, because you've got a captive audience that have already come into your establishment, and then you can gather data from them, and then just really blast what the majority of those people want. If they said, "Oh, I saw it in the yellow pages, or I saw it on a billboard," whatever it is, then you just go with that. But it's hard to figure out your ROI with something like Every Door Direct, which I've done in previous businesses. It's very hard unless you have them bring it in, and then not everybody brings it in. So I personally just think there's better ways to spend your money. But reaching out to somebody, and Sean can hook you up with some people that are experts in this, but reaching out to somebody that can help you figure out where most of your business is coming from, where your biggest ROI is, and then just hammer that hard. So, all right, guys, other than that, that's all we have today. So just make sure you guys submit your questions through the portal. The mentors are looking for questions. I love it because it makes me think, especially if it's not in my niche. It makes me think outside the box, and hopefully it's helping you guys out. So, guys, have a great Tuesday, and we will talk to everybody soon. Thanks.